Fashion Revolution is an organization that was started because of the collapse of Rana Plaza in Bangladesh in 2013, where over 1,100 people died and 2,500 were injured. And it's one of the largest industrial disasters ever. Those that perished were majority young women working for fashion manufacturers. Fashion Revolution has become a global call to action for a more sustainable and transparent fashion industry. And Fashion Revolution, they take a very diverse range of action to improve the fashion industry for everyone involved. One tool that they're using is this course on Future Learn to educate consumers, brands, and anyone else that's involved in the fashion industry. This course is also relevant to basically anybody that wears clothes or is interested in fashion. You can find out more about local events near you through Fashion Revolution's website. I'll put the link below. The course consists of articles, videos, infographic type visuals, supply chain pictures, assignments, and activities. The course starts with some reflection, asking questions like, what topics do you associate with the term sustainable fashion? Why do you think sustainability in the fashion industry is important? And what does sustainable fashion mean to you? So I answered that question, that last question. To me, sustainable fashion means a wide array of things. As a consumer, it means buying clothes responsibly, clothes that were made with all labor, with fair wages and thoughtfulness towards the earth, with resources used. And as a business owner, it means reducing waste, employee protection and rights, awareness across the whole supply chain, basically. Fashion Revolution answered this question with this response. To us, sustainability is fundamentally about maintaining life on Earth and the ecosystems required to support it. In simplest terms, sustainability is about our children and our grandchildren and the world we will leave them. And the UCLA has a more business-focused definition of sustainability. The physical development and institutional operating practices that meet the needs of present users without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs, particularly with regard to the use and waste of natural resources. Let me know in the comments below what sustainable fashion means to you. The fashion industry already had a huge waste problem before coronavirus. Coronavirus has magnified the problem because of the unexpected decline in apparel sales. There's now a ton of time-sensitive waste that was meant to sell during a specific season that won't be sold. So brands are stuck with immense amounts of inventory that they either need to sell at a deeply discounted price, or maybe throw away, or maybe donate to charity, maybe recycle it, or reuse for the next relevant season, probably like a year from now. But for fall, I heard that some brands are doing a mix of selling some new styles that were already shipped, mixed with bringing back old inventory. Coronavirus hasn't only been a waste problem, it's also been a financial problem for different parts of the supply chain. Brands and retailers have canceled orders and they've delayed payments, some for products that have already been made. So who's taking the financial hit of these canceled orders? It's probably a mix of the brands and the suppliers, as usually there's a certain percentage payment down at placement of order that the brand pays that will have become a financial hit on the brand. But there's a good chance that the manufacturers and other textile suppliers are taking huge financial hits as they invest from their own company to produce the orders before they receive the full payment. As a result, there's a good chance of many people losing their jobs all throughout the supply chain. Check out the link in the description to learn more about the impacts of coronavirus on the fashion supply chain. The Sustainable Development Goals were adopted by all United Nations members in 2015, and they incorporate 17 key goals for all countries to come together and to achieve by 2030. The 17 goals are no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnerships for the goals. One of the exercises in the course was to choose 3 brands you either wear or are curious about and find out if they're doing any work with the Sustainable Development Goals. So which brands did you choose is the first question. I chose Everlane, J.Crew, and Nike to look into. Which, if any, of the 3 brands have made public commitments to address the SDGs? Nike has. They identified areas where they believe that they can have the biggest impact, and I'll get more into this in a minute. So for Everlane, they have not that I've found, but they do have their own sustainable initiatives like no new plastic and moving towards all organic cotton and using third-party certified materials in their products. J.Crew also know, but they have their own initiatives like a code of vendor conduct, monitoring supply conditions, improving supplier conditions, industry collaboration and partnerships, and sourcing materials responsibly. But I did find out that J.Crew's parent company, TPG Capital, has a governance, environmental, social annual report that they put out that does include reference to SDGs and how they're trying to work towards those goals. If they are addressing the SDGs, which ones do they specifically mention? So Nike identifies where they believe they have the biggest potential to contribute, and those areas are good health and well-being, gender equality, decent work and economic growth, responsible consumption and production, climate action, and partnerships for the goals. And TPG Capital, they mention decent work and economic growth, good health and well-being, quality education, affordable and clean energy, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, gender equality, and climate action. Can you share some examples of what these brands are doing to address the SDGs? Nike goes into a good bit of detail on what they're doing. For good health and well-being, Nike contributed more than 1,000 bikes and 147 bike stations to Biketown, which is a Portland-based bike share program. And Nike launched Portland's Biketown Culture Collection, which is a series of bike wraps designed by Nike employees that reflect their communities, cultures, and celebrated cultural moments. Over 17 million kids got active with the help of Nike and its community partners around the world. And for coaching, over 100,000 community coaches were trained with the help of partners to create positive sport experiences for kids. Under gender equality, Nike scored 100 on Human Rights Campaign Foundation Annual Corporate Equality Index for the 18th year in a row, and one-to-one pay equity maintained for women globally and U.S. underrepresented groups, and 3% point increase of VP level representation of women globally, bringing the total to 39%, and a 2% point increase of VP level representation of U.S. underrepresented groups, bringing the total to 21%. Are you surprised by the information you found, or the lack thereof? I am surprised by Everlane, as they really advertise themselves as radically transparent, and I would think that they would include sort of fairly sustainable in that, but they certainly have their own sustainable initiatives that they're very transparent about, like no new plastic by 2021 and all organic cotton by 2023, but I'm surprised that they're not more involved with outside organizations like SDG. I'm also surprised how difficult it was to find sustainability information for Everlane and J.Crew. Nike, I found immediately. Nike was the quickest to find and the most detailed and clearly presented of the three brands. There are other exercises throughout the course. There's a lot to learn about fashion sustainability, and this course just scratches the surface of all the information out there. So it's great because they offer so many extra resources and reading at the end of each lesson, so there's always more to dive deeper into learning. I'll share some of the extra resources in the description below. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about fashion sustainability? Do you feel like it's not really an issue? Are you worried about how much fast fashion you buy? Or about workers who made what you wear? Or about the chemicals going into the water? Are you interested in learning more? Definitely check out this course, and I'll definitely do more sustainability videos if this is something that you guys are interested in hearing more about. I think it's a really big topic these days in fashion, and it's important for how we move forward as an industry. Give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon to be notified when new videos come out, and I will see you in the next one.